freaking got black hangers, finally. I've been needing to get black hangers for the longest now because like during the daytime, when you have like a white hanger and like I hang it up, like right here, you can see it's like super apparent, but with the black ones, you can kind of still see it, but it makes it more incognito. So of course you can't really see what I'm talking about, but I'm just gonna go ahead and tuck the rest of the hangers right back here, and that'll be their own little space, because I really only need 2 hangers, one for my security jacket and then one for this hoodie. And then you know, I break a lot of hangers, I go through like a lot of hangers, so I have the extra ones waiting for me right there. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Day in the Life of Paul. I'm your host, Paul. I actually got over a fear. One of my biggest fears is going to the movie theater, and that's because at a time in my life when I was getting my car repossessed and I was feeling very, very suicidal, at the point I went into a movie theater hella drunk. But just yesterday I actually came back from the movie theater and I saw a movie. I ain't gonna tell you which one I seen. You probably know which one I seen. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but what really pissed me off is that it was the same movie theater branch that I got kicked out of, and they serve alcohol on the inside. Today is January 5th, 2025, and we are only 5 days deep into this year, technically, and I have already burned $110 just in gasoline. Just go ahead and let that sink in for a moment. $110 in freaking 5 days, man. You know, I realized something the other night. Is that I've never really truly liked the girl before, unless if she's shown interest in me first. Magazines like Men Health will go ahead and take a person with like my stature and then put me on the front cover to almost say like, oh, it's okay. And just coming from like a fat person, it's kind of like the same logic of like how a black person can say the N-word, and it feels a little weird when a person who's not black says the N-word. But coming from a fat person, just know that I believe that is stupid too. And it's not okay. Tried it, didn't work, moving forward. Well, hello, welcome back to another episode of Day in the Life of Paul. I'm your host, Paul. Again. For about the past 5 months, I have been filled with so much anxiety, so much fear, so much like a little tiny voice in my head saying, no, don't move out of your apartment. Don't do it. And like with actual reason. But it's like now that I actually like live inside of my truck, it's just like, it's like crap. It's like now I can like actually like start to feel the real, like feel what real freedom is like again. I can actually already see like with like when I take my shirt off and like look at my skin, like my skin looks like so much more healthier, because like obviously like I'm like a caramel type color if you like look at my forehead, and like when I normally like take off my shirt, it's almost like white, like a pale, you know, like white kind of darkish tone to it, but it's like been pale. But like now that I look at it, it's like it's almost like matching my forehead. You know what it really is that like it's like I'm home, like I'm back. It's just like because many years ago when I was traveling, and I was traveling to all 50 states, once I reached my 48th state and I tried to gain access into Canada to get up to Alaska for my 49th state, and got denied access because I had 1, marijuana in my car, and 2, my vehicle was not suited for that kind of weather. And when I moved back in with my family, it's like almost like I basically just got so drugged and told that I was so stupid to basically just live my life of how, like, live naturally, like live like how I'm supposed to live. And like I allowed them to, not just my family, but like doctors and being like arrested and all this stuff, to backtrack, to like fall behind of my actual intuition, my actual passions for like the past 7 years. Like, it's just like, I like like, it kind of feels like I almost like lost out on 7 years of my life, of like actually living like my life, because this is not like, I'm living in my truck, but this is clearly not like, if you know my story, like this is not because like, oh, I'm financially in this or whatever. This is literally like how I'm supposed to live. Like, this is just, it literally feels just so good in my gut of like, this is like the only way that I could live. Like, literally, even if I had like $3 million, it's just like, I wouldn't even buy a house. Like, this is like how, like, this is what makes me happy. And like, I got it taken away from me. And say if I'm like a train and like I'm on the tracks, it's like I literally got derailed. I allowed people to derail me for the past 7 years. But I can tell you that right now, today, I am back on track. With that said, look, I found a little medallion. With that said, what now? What? What now? What is the future? What, like, what am I gonna, like, what's my goal now? The answer is a lot. Like, I have to literally cram like 7 years of Paul into 1 year just to catch up. In last video, I showed you guys my New Year's resolution. And one of those resolutions is to save up $15,000. But I really didn't go into depth with it in last video. But it's not just to save up $15,000. First, I must accept the realization that literally right now, I mean, I kind of pushed it a little bit too far this time, but right now I only have $46. I have $46 left, which is pretty big. It's a little bit too close, but I got a check coming. I'm still working. I still got a job, so that's fine. So I have $46, so I can basically start at like a very base ground with nothing. This may sound funny, but step number one is the realization. Step number 2 is to pay myself back, because right at this moment, I actually owe myself, sounds funny to owe yourself, but I actually owe myself $5,533.86. That's money that I did have saved up in the past, but through all of this life growing up, I had to spend it all. So step number 1, that's going to be included in the $15,000. But step number 2 is to pay myself back. Step number 3 is I'm going to take a break for a little bit, and once I pay myself back, I'm going to save $1,000 into my savings account, and that should be super easy. That should be super quick, and that should be like a nice little goal for me, like right in the middle. So step number 1 is the realization, step number 2 is to pay myself back, and step number 3 is to put $1,000, save $1,000 in my savings account. Once I have that $6,000 plus saved up, then I'm going to take all of my extra money, and then I'm going to pay off the truck. So step number 1 is the realization, step number 2 is to pay myself back, step number 3 is to save up $1,000, and the step number 4 is to pay off the truck. It may sound like a little bit confusing, but I literally have it all written out in like of my clipboards. I have my goals. I like put them all in like step 1, step 1, step 2, step 3, and then once I pay off the truck, then I'm going to save up the remainder, like $10,000, because once I pay myself back the $5,000, 5,000 plus 10,000 is 15,000. Then I can have my $15,000, and my truck will be paid off, and I'll have a little bit in savings. So like if you can see like what I'm doing, it's like fucking brilliant. Like, it is like one thing just to, like, you know, just focus everything in just the $15,000. But like, I don't know why, but that really doesn't work in my brain. But like this way, like it's unstoppable. No more YouTube. Like me not watching other creators, which is absolutely amazing for me. That's been pretty easy to, you know, deal with so far. My semen retention, not like splattering all over the floor. It's just like fucking hell. It's like literally like 17 times a day. My soldier is just like fully fucking just at attention like 17 times a day. It's just like fucking here we go. And I'm just like no, and it's like let's go, and I'm just like no, and it's like all right, fine, I'm gonna be back in 40 minutes, and fucking sure enough, here we go, and I'm just like no, it's like that's like literally like being a man. It's fucking rough.